Back in the day, my buddy and I would get up early and drive all the way over to Daytona Beach. And we would get there just as the sun was coming up, and we would have our cooler full of Mountain Dew and our bags full of Doritos. And we would eat that for breakfast, and we would get on our surfboards and we would wax those things up and we would paddle out in the early morning waves. We would go over those waves, and sometimes those waves would go over us. And we would get out in the quietness of the morning in the sea breeze and the sea waves crashing over us. And we would go over those waves. And as we would get out past the biggest of the breakers, we would sit on our boards and we would look out and look around. And it was a serene calm because we were past the big breakers. But our whole goal was to spot the lines of waves coming in. We would look for the area that it was breaking, and we would see a line coming in. We would lay on our board and we would get it, and we would try to position ourselves, and then we would paddle, 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 stand up, and hopefully surf that wave into the shore, and then go out and do it all over again. Surfing. I was never good at it. I probably stood and face planted more times than I would like to remember, but every once in a while, I would catch a wave and kind of go straight in. Some people were more skilled than I was, but that's beside the point. But it was a beautiful thing. Did you ever think that stress and managing stress is a lot like surfing? Probably not. So I wanted to put this illustration into your mind. We all have stress, just like those waves in the ocean. And sometimes you didn't create the waves, you didn't create the stress. It just happens. Driven in traffic lately? Hello. So, what I want us to think about is, how do we manage the stresses in our life? Financial, relational, whatever it may be. Imagine being at the beach and imagine those waves are coming like stress, and you learn to surf them because they're coming, whether you want them to or not. You surf those waves. Sometimes they'll crash you over and go take you to the shore. Hey, the waves sometimes win, right? But may I discourage you from doing one thing. Number one, don't ignore the waves because they're there. Stress happens in our life. You can't get away from that. And number two, do not resist the waves. Next time you're at the beach, go out waist deep and try to stand against the waves. They will knock you over. Same with stress. I've heard a crazy statistic that just popped in my mind. 90% of illness is stress related. Let me say that again. 90% of illness is stress related. Y'all, we have a lot of stress in our lives, and I get that. But surfing the wave is not to minimize stress. Some of you have a tsunami in your life. This surfing analogy does not apply to a tsunami. The death of a loved one, the terminal illness of somebody, the incredible loss of something, maybe financial or health or whatever, or job. Guys, this is categorically different, and I'm not trying to be overly cute with this stress analogy. But for the majority of us, we wake up and we say, oh, Monday, it's stressful. This is for those of you. Stress, surf the stress. The waves come, surf them. It will get you further than letting those things control you or being pummeled and thrown about on the beach by those waves. Imagine your life taking the idea that you have some semblance of control over the stresses that happen in your life. It's going to happen. So the next time you're standing in a long line at the grocery store, or you're in bumper to bumper traffic, surf the stress, man. Take a moment and go to the beach in your mind and surf it. It's going to happen. Your family will thank you. Imagine maybe even popping the lip on that surfboard imaginary wise. If this can bring you a little bit of stress relief, so be it.